Tamba Ali taking a breather. Make it 40 straight for Jeff Reed from inside 40 yards. That is the end of the first half. 31-0 Steelers. We're back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station.
He's using nail gun. You sure you don't need me to see if more stuff's level? Well, apparently it's on.
The Class, new episode CBS tomorrow. Could you pass a driving test in it?
This time, you better not miss it.
Second solution, second.
Because there won't be a second chance.
Solution, second. Solution, second. Solution, second.
It's the final showdown, the Major League Baseball playoffs, now airing on Orbit ESPN. Don't miss it.
Caught up on all the early scores from around the league today. Starting first with the Cowboys moving to 3-2 with a 34-6 victory over the Houston Texans. T.O., 3 touchdown receptions, ties his career high. Dallas 17 points off of turnovers. Bill Parcells now has defeated all 32 franchises. Moving along the scoreboard, the Washington Redskins drop one to the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee wins its first game of the season, as is the case for quarterback Vince Young. 25-22 was the final there. New Orleans Saints with the victory over the Philadelphia Eagles. John Carney's 31-yard field goal wins it with no time left. Last time the Saints were 5-1 was back in 2002. The New York Giants did contain Michael Vick, sacked them a career-high 7 times to win it 27-14. Giants outscore Atlanta 24-7 in the second half. Tampa Bay picks up its first victory of the season, nursing a 1-point victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. Bruce Gradkowski with the game-winning touchdown pass to Michael Clayton with 35 seconds left in regulation. Carolina, 4th straight win with Steve Smith back in the lineup. Smith had 8 receptions for 189 yards and a touchdown. Carolina improves to 4-2. Seattle in a shootout against the St. Louis Rams in a battle for first place in the NFC West wins it 30-28. Seattle outscored St. Louis 23-7 in the second half. And the Detroit Lions win their first game of the season, beating the Buffalo Bills. Kevin Jones with the big game for the Lions. And all the scores and highlights will be coming up next in New York.
CBS Thursday.
What sin did she die for?
Who would strangle someone with a rosary?
A new CSI. Then
Help me.
America's football hero
He's the top college quarterback in the country.
So he can't be a rapist?
versus LA's toughest DAs.
Let the games begin.
Say we kick his ass.
Now you're talking.
Your boys are going down.
A new shark after a new CSI Thursday.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. Sprint, together with Nextel. Power up.
And welcome back to our New York studios, where my guys are still teasing me about my food. And the Sprint Halftime Report, I'm James Brown along with Dan Marino, Shannon Sharp, and Boomer Esiason. Score at halftime, wow, Pittsburgh 31-0 over KC. Boom.
All is good at the Steel City, fellas. Ben Roethlisberger's off to a flying start. Willie Parker's running well. They are just demolishing the Chiefs. And with the Bengals and the Ravens losing, everybody's happy in Pittsburgh.
And here at LT on a 5-yard touchdown run as they're blowing it. They're doing their number on San Francisco.
And the Dolphins' offense is struggling. So is the Jets. Joey Harrington, 2 interceptions on the day. This one here to Victor Hobson. This is
he does kick it out quicker than Dante, though.
Had to get that one. Texans and Cowboys, Dan, what's going on here?
Drew Bledsoe throws a touchdown here to T.O. T.O. had 3 touchdowns on the day. And T.O. tells us after the game how great he is.
Time and time again, I try to get on the same page with Drew, and we kind of worked at it today, and I told him, dude, just trust me. I know how to play the game, you know. When the ball's in the air, I know how to go attack it. I know how to go get it.
How good is he, Dan?
And the Titans got their first win today. Travis Henry on a 3-yard touchdown run, still farms his way in as they go to Washington and win 25-22.
Over what quarterback?
Runell.
How about Drew Brees on the day? He completes passes to 10 different receivers, 2 touchdowns passes to Joe Horn. And look who's going to line up to kick the game-winning field goal. John Carney of the New Orleans Saints. And it is good. They win 27-24 over the Eagles.
And Eli Manning right here. He's finding Jeremy Shockey 2 touchdowns on the day. Also, Tiki Barber, 185 yards rushing as New York goes into Atlanta and wins big.
How about Bruce Gradkowski? He finds Michael Clayton right here. It was ruled an incompletion. They went to the replay. They said, yes, it was a completion and a touchdown. Tampa wins its first of the year, 14-13 over the Cincinnati Bengals.
What does Shannon say about Steve Smith?
Julius Peppers continued his defensive MVP push. 8 tackles, 2 sacks, but the man of the day, Steve Smith, 8 catches, a $189 in the tub. Jake DeLong, 24-39, 365, and 2 tubs.
I guess nobody was
2 tubs,
right? Somebody had a follow.
And Torrey Holt on the day, 3 touchdown passes, but it's not enough as Josh Brown hits the game winner, 54 yards.
Detroit, what did Detroit do today?
Got big day from Kevin Endzone Jones on the ground, 27 carries, a $127 on the touchdown. But the singing lion, Roy Williams, 10 catches, 161, and a tub. That's a touchdown, JB.
It's tough. You know what?
What's he singing, man?
We finally won a game.
Can you see going up to Dan and Boomer? Hey, I'm great, fellas. Just throw it to me. I'm open. I'm great. Thanks for watching the Sprint Halftime Report. Send you back to your second half.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. Sprint together with Nextel. Power up.
You are in the heart of bachelor country. You could try to apply for a sex visa, but that only lasts 12 hours.
A new How I Met Your Mother, CBS tomorrow.
NFL Network means football 24/7 with a great new lineup of shows. NFL Game Day, Deion Sanders and Steve Mariucci join Rich Eisen for the best highlights of every NFL game. NFL Replay, re-airs of the week's 4 best games. NFL Total Access, Marshall Falk joins the crew for coverage of all 32 teams. And this fall, NFL Network has live NFL games. Bryant Gumbel and Chris Collinsworth call the action. Only on NFL Network.
La pasión por el fútbol americano comienza con los niños. El programa NFL Youth les brinda la oportunidad de aprender jugando. Un deporte al alcance de todos.
La pasión comienza contigo.
The Halftime Report. Sprint together with Nextel. Power up.
The numbers are right. The Steelers lead Kansas City 31-0. Willie Parker's run for 2 TDs. Ben Roethlisberger has thrown for 2. And the NFL on CBS will continue after this word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 41.
Jericho.
Wow.
قوة قصوى عراقة قصوى روعة قصوى إثارة قصوى قدرة حصانية قصوى سباق الخيل يبث حاليا على أوربت.
for less.
Sweet bondage.
Unlimited local and long-distance calling, just $24.99 a month. That's a savings of up to 50% on your phone bill.
That even doesn't. Come on, let's go play.
Vonage, one smart decision among many, many stupid ones. Call 1-800-989-4VON.
Roethlisberger going to throw it as a man open inside the 20. Roethlisberger has his first touchdown pass of the season. Well, you have to figure coaches get paid the big bucks for giving the kind of halftime talk that Herm Edwards had to give the Kansas City Chiefs in the locker room. Greg Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf back in Pittsburgh. 31-0 Steelers. We talked at the top of the day about the things to keep an eye on, Dan.
We sure did, and it's been a while since we've seen it dismantling like this. We started with keeping an eye on Big Ben Roethlisberger. Well, how about that? 224 yards, a pair of touchdowns in the first half. Only 2 incomplete passes in 30 minutes. Larry Johnson, 1,750 yards a year ago. Well, how about only 16? This Blitzburg D has completely smothered him. And right now, we talked about the Super Bowl hangover. The only hangover is the one they're hanging on the Kansas City Chiefs. And Greg, it really has been a long time since I've covered a game, and I know I speak for you as well, where we've seen this kind of total domination. Kansas City has been in no facet of this game at all.
What does a coach say to his team in a situation like this? One possession at a time?
It's all you can say, unless you say nothing at all. I have been in a few locker rooms where the coach just walked out and he left you on your own, and to tell you the truth, it's kind of what you deserve.
I don't want to talk to you guys
exactly
right now.
Right. I'm washing my hands of this.
Well, the Chiefs will get a chance to do something right off the bat because they'll get the football. Jeff Reed will kick. Jeff Webb is deep. Line drive. And this one will be picked up by Webb inside the 5. Looking for running room, doesn't find any. He doesn't even get back to the 15-yard line. The first half statistics are very telling, Dan.
Pretty staggering. 372 total yards to 47. 17 first downs in one half. 11 plays of 10 or more yards. Only 1 third down they didn't convert. Is there anything that Pittsburgh didn't do well?
You've got to
in
figure
the first half?
Bill Cowher's on the sideline saying, whatever we're doing, we have to bottle this.
This is just Kansas City's getting buzzsaw.
On first down, Larry Johnson.
Kansas City runners are having a difficult time just getting back to the line of scrimmage. Pittsburgh decided to play this game on Kansas City's side of the football. Look at the black shirts across the line of scrimmage. You know, Larry Johnson has got absolutely nothing. You can't even see where you were intending to go.
You know, this is not an insignificant offensive line of the Chiefs either. Will Shields, 11-time Pro Bowler. Brian Waters, a 2-time Pro Bowler. Hewitt gonna throw with time over the middle, tipped incomplete.
Was that Ferrier that got a hand on that? I think so. One of the things the Pittsburgh linebackers can do, they're so athletic, cover so much ground. Yep, that was James Ferrier. Again, just dropping back into his hook zone, but then he makes a play a good 4 or 5 yards out of the zone where he was supposed to go. These guys can really cover ground. Larry Foote and James Ferrier in the middle. What a compliment to one another.
You can see how things can snowball. Joey Porter waving his terrible towel on the sideline.
Yeah, just imagine if he was playing, they might be throwing a shutout. Oh, they are.
3rd and 12. That one hit at the line of scrimmage and falls incomplete.
Deshae Townsend comes in on a corner blitz. And, geez, what kind of a possession was that for Kansas City?
I'll tell you what it was. It was a 6th possession, which will result in a 6th punt and a 5th straight 3-and-out.
Well, Townsend is accounted for. That's the shame of it all. Ronnie Cruz, the fullback, is supposed to pick him up, but Deshae Townsend looks like a defensive end. Whiffs, makes him whiff and goes to the inside and hits it.
Dustin Colquitt gets this one away. Nice kick. Oh, look at that kick. Holmes all the way back to his 27. To the 30. Lost the football. Inside the 30-yard line and recovered by the Steelers. Bryant McFadden recovered the loose ball.
And Santonio Holmes is one lucky guy. He muffed a punt and fumbled that, and twice his team has recovered the ball for him.
We have a penalty marker on the play. And it will back the Steelers up just a little bit, but 13:52 to play here in the third quarter. And the Steelers, much to the chagrin of the Kansas City Chiefs, are back on offense.
Chosen 16 in the welterweight division. Well,
New.
Tender.
You've waited, you've dreamed, and now it's finally back. Endless shrimp at Red Lobster. The only time of year to enjoy all the irresistible shrimp you can eat. Don't miss Endless Shrimp right now, only at Red Lobster.
The Breakup is one of the best comedies in years.
Victory! Does it feel good to be a champion? Yeah.
It's laugh out loud funny.
Please don't touch my ruffles. You can put that one back.
Vince Vaughn, Jennifer Aniston.
I loves you, baby.
The Breakup, also available on HD DVD.
The Duke rape case could turn on what she says on 60 Minutes.
Is that true?
No.
Plus, the 3 accused teammates tell their story for the first time tonight.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
372 total yards for Pittsburgh today. They came in not doing so hot. They have been exceptional today. On first down from the 18. Roethlisberger. All kinds of time and then dumps it off. Keith Miller. Miller across the 30 to about the 33 or 34, but enough for a first down. Hey, start your Monday off right with the comedy hit How I Met Your Mother. That's tomorrow at 8, 7 Central Time here on CBS again this season. America's most watched network. Ben Roethlisberger with a perfect quarterback rating so far today. This is Parker. Parker can't dodge that tackler. Patrick Surtain coming up from the corner. And he's dumped at the 33.
Patrick Surtain, a member of this Kansas City secondary that has so many interceptions, so much veteran leadership back there. And again, you wouldn't expect to see as many open Steelers receivers as you would expect, but Surtain and Ty Law in the corners and Sammy Knight and Wesley at the safeties bring a wealth of experience, but Ben's taking advantage of it.
It is a secondary that has made a living in the National Football League for a long time, picking off opposing passers. On 2nd and 11. That one will go nowhere. Kawika Mitchell with the stop, loose ball picked off by the Chiefs.
Parker, fumble on the play, recovered by Kansas City.
Kawika Mitchell falling on the loose ball.
Well, first of all, Mitchell just completely sniffs out this screen, and he's all over Sammy Parker. Sammy kind of surprised Parker, and Sammy's having trouble getting the ball put away. But then actually, Tamba Ali comes in, and his hit is the one that knocks the ball loose. Credit Mitchell for the start of it, but then it was Ali that put the lick on that knocked the ball loose, and this is the first sign of life out of Kansas City today.
A little light at the 22-yard line for Damon Heward and the Chiefs. They pick up the blitz. Heward going, corner, incomplete. Eddie Kinnison, the intended receiver. Polamalu was there with him. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And you see how Dick LeBeau changed it up there. A lot of times it's that guy, Troy Polamalu, the guy that's coming in on the blitz. This time it's the blitz by somebody else, and Polamalu's the guy back in coverage. Take a look at it. The two linebackers cross right in the middle. Foot almost gets in on Heward. But Troy Polamalu back in coverage.
You wanted to say Foot almost gets a hand on it, didn't you?
No, I'm not as clever as you.
2nd and 10. Heward with time. Throwing. Up in the air, incomplete, intended for Jason Dunn, the tight end. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Jason Dunn, a rarity having him involved in the passing game. He's primarily the blocking tight end. Tony Gonzalez handles the bulk of the receiving work at the tight end position.
Dunn has caught just one ball this year for 7 yards.
And he's more tackle than he is tight end.
Third and 10. Heward, quick pass over the middle, intercepted. Polamalu. Polamalu to the outside. 40. Midfield. And pulled out of bounds inside the 40-yard line.
Well, Larry Johnson tackled him by the hair. Larry Johnson, and look at the players. They're upset about the way Johnson tackled Polamalu, but what are you going to do? And we've got a flag that's been thrown right there in the middle of that fracas, we'll call it. There's also another flag back at the 22.
Dan, you and I were just talking about this the other day. The hair is fair game, is it not?
I believe it is. There's no other way around it. It covers the whole back of Troy Polamalu's jersey.
There is a discussion on the far side of the field by the officials.
How ironic that Larry Johnson, who last week was violently tackled by Antrell Roll, I think that ball was deflected to Troy Polamalu. But let's take a look at the finish. This is what matters.
There are 3 fouls on the play. Illegal touching of a pass. Kansas City, that is declined. On the return, unsportsmanlike conduct. Kansas City, number 27. That penalty is accepted. Also, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 69, Kansas City. The penalty is declined. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Well, there isn't much positive for Kansas City on that whole play, but there is the look, and Johnson drags Polamalu down by the hair.
Well, I have to tell you that I did not know that that's a penalty. Larry Johnson attempting to make a tackle. He gets nothing but the handful of hair. That had to hurt. You can see Troy gets up. And you're right, Kansas City can get nothing going their direction.
And Dan, you and I, we're talking about this over this past weekend, and I don't see the difference between pulling on the hair and pulling on the helmet.
Well, he gets an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for it.
On first down, Parker.
And as I said, how ironic for Larry Johnson, because it was just 7 days ago that Antrell Roll really, look how violently he gets the face mask of Larry Johnson. We talked a while ago how surprising it is that he's even playing today. And now that he's involved in a tackle of his own like that.
By the way, Damon Huard victimized by his first interception in 161 pass attempts this season. 2nd and 3. Parker to the 10. Let's go back to the play itself.
I believe it's going to actually, does it bounce off of, yes it does. Take a look at that. It actually hits one of the offensive linemen, Jordan Black, right in the helmet. The left tackle, it hits him in the back of the helmet, and then caroms right to Troy Polamalu.
So it's a 3rd and 2 now for Roethlisberger. Gonna throw for it. Incomplete. Intended for Kreider out of the backfield. And that'll bring the field goal unit on.
And Ben really took a shot. He really took a shot at the end of that. When you can see that that left the mark. Ben wincing a little bit as he heads over to the sideline. And there is Jordan Black, the left tackle. That he's just trying to do his job, and Damon Huard hits him in the helmet with a pass.
Reed from 28 yards out has already made one from 32. And he missed it. His first miss from inside 40 yards in his last 40 tries. The man is human. Still 31-0.
Let's say I retire at 64.
At 60.
58.
Let's say I leave my job in 5 years and start teaching.
We help the kids buy their first house.
Let's say healthcare costs double.
We hold off tapping into our 401k.
What would that look like?
Welcome to Envision with Wachovia Securities, a way of working with our financial advisors that starts with your life and plans your money around it. Are you with Wachovia?
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 41. Wachovia, knowing the score, made possible with Wachovia. And by the all-new 2007 Wrangler Unlimited, a new species from Jeep.
And the MetLife Blimp Snoopy 2 providing today's aerial coverage. Glad to have them with us. Look for the MetLife Blimps as they team up with CBS for more coverage this fall.
Well, let's do a little cleanup. We're being told that Larry Johnson was not penalized for pulling the hair, which is not illegal, that he was penalized for taunting after the play was over. Scott Green, the referee, didn't explain it that way. He just called it unsportsmanlike conduct. Taunting is something that you'd hope we'd hear that was specifically what was called. But we did get confirmation. It's not a penalty to tackle by the hair.
Meanwhile, on first down, Huard flips it out here, incomplete for Johnson. It'll be 2nd and 10. Things have been going so well for Damon Huard. He came off of a game against Arizona last week, 26 of 38 for 288 yards and a couple of touchdowns, earning him AFC Offensive Player of the Week honors. Rallied his team from a 2-touchdown deficit.
And this 31-0 deficit is a team affair. It certainly wouldn't be anything like this if the offense would have done their share of the deal and kept the ball.
Hewitt, this side, complete. Sammy Parker with the reception and out of bounds at about the 37-yard line, and that's first down. And maybe the Kansas City defense can take a seat.
Well, you'd have to think to yourself that even down 31-0, why not go to, get up there and go to some type of a hurry-up offense? Damian Hewitt trying to get him in and out of the huddle in a hurry, but what do you have to lose by quickening it up?
Larry Johnson, left side, running room. Tripped up at about the 43-yard line by Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark made that tackle for Pittsburgh. Did we have fun talking with him yesterday?
You just can't sit with Ryan Clark and not come out of it laughing. This guy took us on a whirlwind tour of what he eats during the course of a day. It's pretty doggone impressive. He's trying to put on a few pounds and keep them on.
On 2nd and 3, Hewitt to throw. Far side of the field, and that's complete inside the 45 to Parker again. And that's enough for a first down. Ryan Clark told us he's about 202, 203 pounds, but by week 5 or 6, he's usually around 195, and he just tends to eat all day long.
We put this down. Take a look at this. What he starts with for breakfast, and then this is during a practice day. The first break, he has a protein shake, then he moves to oranges. He has lunch, and then he eats 2 dinners.